We are on Hill Street, and right over there was something interesting that I explored when it was open to the public, sort of. And it was before a thing called YouTube happened. Anyway, there, all the way up to the end over there, we're going to be like 6 or 7 brand new houses being built on a new street. Unfortunately, things never materialized, and it's been abandoned ever since. Or something is going on. We just don't know what. I mean, there's always been construction equipment here. Ask questions as to what's going on. Anyway, way in there somewhere, there used to be a bus used as a lookout station for the military in the 60s. And my father served on that platform. He's seen some strange stuff. And so it doesn't look a little odd. I'm pointing this way while a car comes along. So when I explored it before a thing called YouTube ever occurred, and then several years later still didn't think of YouTube, I saw some really neat stuff in there, some artifacts, some old furniture, and what appears to be remains of a bus, which probably was the one my father was stationed on. But since it's been abandoned, you can see they dug it out a long time ago, and nothing has come of it since, and now it's all marked no trespassing. Would be interesting to show you if YouTube was a little earlier and I thought of joining it earlier. Anyway, now for the meat and potatoes of this whole thing, about another mile down the road on Lowe Street. Alright, we're coming up upon it, but before we do, there used to be a barn there. That's a relatively new house. I think it was built a couple years ago. Anyway, we're here to look at the Suburban Ghetto. And I did get a comment stating that I don't know what a ghetto is. And to be fair to that person, on camera it doesn't really look that bad. But in person, it's just atrocious. We have ghettos in this city as well, and they are much less crowded than this, even though it's only 6 units and surrounding houses. But literally far less crowded than this debacle. And I've got a correction to make for those of you who watch these videos on a phone or on a smart TV, because you do not have annotation ability or could read the descriptions of the video. A correction has been made, is that it was stated this house was solely responsible for everything that was done. That is not the case. With one of the driveways coming out right from behind that house, I always thought it was. And nobody over the decade that this was rumored to be happening ever corrected me on that. I mean, they might have thought I thought of the right house, but I didn't. So that house, not it. They're good people. In fact, they're just as upset as these people. This is where I used to live in high school all the way up to the year 2000. Then I moved out. And here's the abortion. As you can see, now we got 2 fairly complete giant buildings. Now, when this was built, they said that was a bit big for the neighborhood. Look at this monstrosity. Compare that to that. And there's the other abortion. And they're condos, and each one, from what I understand, is going for just a measly 350 grand a pop. And there is a sign there. Townhouses, brand new construction. Yeah. Look at that. And look at that. What an abortion. And like I said, when our house was built, and there's two more like it, it was considered big. There were other houses that were as big further up the road. And again, to reiterate what I said before, this house is not the problem. Once again, for those of you that don't have annotation or description reading abilities with the phones and the televisions, those corrections were made, but you wouldn't know because you wouldn't see any of that. So again, this house, they're just as upset about this crap as the people that live in that house and surrounding communities, especially that house, because their driveway's literally like a few feet away. Yeah. And that was the first factory ever in the city of Leominster. That house right there. As we want to make the crossing with no crosswalk. I think they made combs. Industrial combs, not the hairstyling utensil. Anyway, just to see it from this end. This was the bus stop when I was in high school. Right here. Oh, the fun and joy of going to school. I would have stopped the camera, but yeah, the trip is short enough. There's no point. And it's kind of hidden in the bushes, but they got a fence going around it now, so you can't see that it's literally a 4-story hulk. Literally more than half the height of the hill. And when we were here before, there was just a foundation for that building. And there it is, pretty much completed. Looks just like the other stale buildings. There we go. Just move around a little bit because get a better view from here. I think those decks are high enough off of the ground. That's another 4-story abortion. And there's what was considered a very big house for the area. And it's dwarfed by these monsters of butt ugliness. So I guess this might be it. I mean, they got most of them rented out. They got that one. And this one appears to be, let's look in. I don't know. I don't think that one's fully rented yet. It might be. Anyway, that'll be it for this eyesore of a project. I mean, it's pretty much done. We saw the monstrosity that it turned out to be, and how such a huge house doesn't look so huge anymore. And the people are not happy. And that'll be it. I mean, come on. How ugly is that? Doesn't fit at all. Even further down Pleasant Street. Yeah, that just doesn't stand out, does it? Alright, one last time. Pleasant and Chestnut. Because it's about to disappear. Yep. What a disaster. What an abortion.